stock market. Oh, man. Woo!
Ooh, baby. Are you a shareholder of PayPal? No. Well, you just got wrecked. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. My name is Christopher Belly. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a fake boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And my favorite investor, Jeremy LeFuFu, was huge into PayPal. Now, I really consider PayPal as an individual stock investment. And never forget, only 5% of my portfolio is in individual stocks. But I looked at PayPal and I had some reservations, okay? Number one, they're woke. Oh my God. I don't really care about that. But there seems to me like there's a lot of competition out there, a ton of competition. Now, let's go ahead and check out this, and then we'll talk about PayPal, my snake snail's earnings. And I have the wrong thing pulled up. My bad. Hold on. Where is it? So I was looking at PayPal, and I was like, okay, how much volume does this company have? And you could see in the teal here is the total payment volume per company. It's really blurry. I'm sorry. Am I sharing my screen? On the left here, we have PayPal, my snake snail. And we can see by far they had the most payment volume. But we could see a lot of competitors here. Stripe growing massively. Adyen, never freaking heard of that before. Maybe I'm slow. Square, pitifully low. And Razorpay. And how many more payment processors are there out there? There's a ton of them. I can send payments 1,000 freaking ways. So when it comes to PayPal, it's like a business that has a moat. It is very established. It's large. It's massive. It's had a history of success. It's very profitable. But when it comes to, being unique, I just don't see it. But at some point, it could potentially be a buy because at least it's profitable. Now, let's go look at the stock. So it's down 3% on the day, 3.6 on the day, and 9.14% in the after hours. And that could always change. And we can see PayPal kind of looks like ARK ETF. It's been absolutely annihilated. And we knew this was a clownish bubble. And for me, it's so easy to see these things because you see before the pandemic, it was trading at $123. Then it crashed, and then it went up all the way. What was it, $300? Come on, $308. And since then, it has collapsed from $308 all the way down to $70 a share. That's pretty freaking bad, man. Now, what happened with PayPal by Stace now? Well, they had earnings, and they beat earnings per share pretty massively, and they beat revenue my Evenue. Now, the company estimates, and this is what will really hurt the stock. Because remember, stock investing is all about the future, bro. It's not about the past. You can use accounting and understanding financial statements to, understand the company. But when it comes to, whether a stock's going to do well or not, it's all about the future. And if a company has weak guidance, it's going to wreck the stock, okay? The company estimated Q4 revenues to come in at $7.38 billion, which is less than the $7.74 billion consensus expectations. And I wonder if the holidays have some kind of impact on their payments. Honestly, yeah, it probably does. Because it looks like they're projecting to have pretty decent revenue growth year over year or quarter over quarter. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like the holidays, they always benefit. But we can see that their Q4 estimate is going to be $7.38 billion, which is far less than the $7.74 billion consensus expectations. So that's a pretty steep future projected miss than what analysts initially thought. But year over year, let's see, 6.9 divided by, 7.3 divided by 6.9. So their revenue year over year is going to grow by 6%. That doesn't seem that impressive to me. Now, obviously, we had a great year before. 2020, 2021 were clown years. But even then, for a company that, is supposed to be, the growth in the future, it doesn't seem that great. Now, what people get sucked in is they say, well, look at those growth my oath rates. And while they're impressive, it's all about the future. Okay. Let's see if they talk about anything else here. PayPal raised EPS guidance for the full fiscal year, saying it's benefited from ongoing productivity initiatives. It expects to add 8 to 10 million net new active users in the fiscal year. It's also working with Apple to enhance its offerings for PayPal and Venmo, including by letting U.S. merchant customers accept contactless payments through their mobile wallets and adding PayPal and Venmo into the Apple Wallet. Wow, look at that. That's pretty bullish. So overall, I mean, they beat on earnings, they beat on revenue, but the guidance freaking killed the stock. And I don't think this company is going to go out of business, but I'm also not buying it yet. I mean, we can look at the most recent balance sheet because I don't think they had one on the earnings. I mean, their balance sheet, I guarantee you, is really solid. Let's see, total current assets, 55, current liabilities, 45. I mean, that's over 1. They actually don't carry a lot of cash in short term on their balance sheet. That's interesting. Long-term assets, 22. Long-term liabilities, 12. And let's see how much their book value per share. So their book value per share has actually gone down every single quarter. That's interesting. Let's look at their most current valuation metrics. So it's got a PE of 46. That seems pretty rich, but it could be just because of a really bad last couple of quarters. Price to sales of 3, which is well below the last couple of quarters. Price to books of 4.4 and debt to equity of 0.52. So nothing crazy here. Okay. Now, me personally, like I said, while it's a great company, you can make money off of it. And I could put it in the stock analyzer tool because I made it myself. It's just not something I'm interested in buying personally. I don't think it's unique enough where it justifies me putting some of my hard-earned money into when I could just buy an index fund. Let's do some comments. What are the actual unbiased chances that we can see hype stocks like AMC and GME literally go to zero? Well, AMC would have to go bankrupt, and I don't think they're there yet. He sold some PayPal and bought Meta. Just now? We will be tuning into the Jay Nagy interview. You have to keep this one short because I will be meeting up with Jay Nagy, bro. PayPal owns Venmo. Strongman, do you really believe the market is efficient? In the long run, I do. I myself am also an index fund investor, but the market is an absolute clown show. This market literally thinks Google is worth 40% less now. Well, you see, it kind of balances itself out. Like you had that crazy clown market, which to me was obvious. And that's almost like common sense that the market isn't efficient in the short term, because why would clown stocks go up that much? It doesn't make any freaking sense. But in the long run, it just always seems to balance itself out. So if you're dollar cost averaging in index funds, you might buy in during a clown market, but you're also buying in during a down market. So at the end of the day, I think in the long run, you're going to pay approximately, fair value for all the companies that you're buying. Personally, I use Cash App. I use PayPal personally for my grift payments. I'm buying the dip tomorrow. I mean, I think you could get a positive return in the long run from PayPal. I think it's at that point. And I've done like a DCF before, but I don't know. It's just there's too much competition out there. I don't like it. PayPal's not the worst, but it still outperformed the NASDAQ. But it will outperform the NASDAQ. Maybe. LEFUFU only accepts payments through PayPal as a friend or family, so you can't get your money back. Does he really do that? If you can prove that, please email me, because on PayPal, how they make money, one of the ways they make money is that you can send money to family and there's no fee, there's no charge for it because it's not a business transaction. But if you're sending money, like if I receive money for like a seminar or something, or like services I've provided, PayPal will assess a fee because it's for business. So if LEFUFU is doing that, he's a little scammer, but I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, PayPal, which you realize now, is evidence of the market being inefficient as crap. They think that the whole company is worth 10% less. Well, in the short run, yeah, they fluctuate randomly. But in the long run, I mean, every stock's price is just what the market as a whole thinks it's worth at any one time. That's all it is. Buyers and sellers reach some kind of equilibrium. But in the long run, I think the fundamentals of the company, of every company, will eventually work themselves out. The stock price will reflect that. So like I said, if you're dollar cost averaging, you're buying PayPal in your index fund on the dip and you're buying it when it's high. So over time, it kind of works itself out. But to sit there and try to time the market, then you get into buying a bunch of individual stocks, and then you could be wrong because maybe the market knows something that you don't. Like with Meta was getting wrecked, and it was at like 150, 160. It's like, wow, I mean, it's Meta, bro. The market's not efficient. And then these next freaking earnings come out, these recent earnings come out, and they're blowing money hand over fist. Maybe people knew, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the market is smarter than you can think, and sometimes it's dumber. All in on PayPal, my pen pal. Strongman, you're the only finance channel with no dislike on the videos, bro. Really? Well, you can't see dislikes, right? Well, 70 is my DCA for PayPal, so hopefully to the moon. I mean, honestly, like it's an interesting play at this point, in my opinion. But, if you haven't maxed your tax advantage accounts, why buy an individual stock at this point? PayPal wants to charge you $10K. See, here's another thing that I like about stuff like that. So PayPal got in trouble because they had that rule that if you have misinformation or if you make fun of Jeremy LeFave, that was in there, by the way, you lose. They reserve the right to fine you up to $2,500 or something like that. And then they quickly dropped the rule. Well, people, it's stuff like that. That's like temporary BS. That was an obvious, like either a blunder or an error by PayPal. Those are potentially times to consider a stock when it gets absolutely freaking wrecked over a nothing burger. Like that's what entices me. So that's the kind of stuff I like to see is, this happened at the company that has nothing to do with the fundamentals. Oh, sell. And everybody's crapping on PayPal. Now everybody's crapping on Meta too. I've noticed that. At least the heat's off me for Baba. 47 is fair value. Maybe. He still buys Tattooed Chef. He's an idiot. Have the feeling that LeFuFu is doing much better than Kathy Wood. Who is doing better? Oh, Kathy Wood's making a fortune, man. Go look at the fees that whatchamacallit? ARC charges. She's making a fortune. The Reichsmarshal uses PayPal and crypto in Bangkok's red light districts, so it is a buy. PayPal and all these middleman company stocks are trash and will be wiped out when the government currency is released and the New World Order begins. I didn't think of that bearish thesis. Remember when LeFuFu was buying long-term call options? Yeah, we never heard about those again, LeFuFu. I bet you a lot of those went to zero. Because if you don't ever exercise a call, you pay a premium for it, it can expire worthless. You lose 100% of your money. What? No! Crypto. Between LeFuFu trash stocks and Strongman Baba, I must say LeFuFu isn't that bad. You're right. Me and Jeremy are exactly the same. You're 100% right. I would love to see Guy interview his. I'm probably too small for him. Everybody knows Bangkok's cash only. If LeFuFu is doing that, it's called fraud, not a scam. Well, I'm sure he's mixed up in a bunch of interesting stuff. It's the future, bro. You should have bought PayPal puts. Oh, yeah, it's easy money in retrospect. Yeah. Stripe is laying off 14% of the company. They forgot to IPO, and they wanted to be valued at $100 billion. I mean, I checked out Stripe. I don't know. I just like the interface and the feel, the vibes of using PayPal for like my own business transactions. So I'm going to stick with PayPal. And I even think PayPal has like a savings account. Like they're partnering with Synchrony. PayPal savings account. I'm not saying to put your money in this, but hold on. Where is it? Start saving with PayPal and earn interest. Set your money aside and watch it grow to the tune of 3% APY. Wow. Banking services are provided by Synchrony Bank, member FDIC. PayPal balance is required. PayPal balance account is required to use. Yeah, so apparently you can get 3% APY, and they're partnering with Synchrony. So I actually briefly considered like, I'll put my money in PayPal. But then again, I was like, yeah, if I say something nasty they don't like, they might take my money. So I decided against it. Let's see. Jeremy sells his Tesla to buy new Sperry's and sunglasses. He should sell his Teslas. Let's see. Jeremy was buying Corsair 2024 calls last year because gaming will grow. Gaming will grow! So I'm going to buy this unprofitable stock! Or at least before the pandemic. ETF should be 95%. You can play Warren Buffett. Exactly. Exactly. VT pays a growing dividend. If you hold it for 30 years, your yield on cost would be like 8% hidden dividend shill. Well, I focus on earnings, not the dividend. I used a PayPal savings account getting a 3%. Finally, I get paid to sit in cash. Yeah, I really considered it. I'm just kind of joking about the whole, them taking my money. I was tempted, but we'll see. 2024 calls for a gaming accessory company. LEFUFU is he's an idiot. Mike Stathis is still bullish on Messerschmitt, Volkswagen, and Porsche because they are developing the King Tiger and Panzerkampfwagen 7. That never existed. The Panzer 7. I think the Tiger tank was 6. The Panther was 5. There was no 7. Some hedge funds out there has to be shorting all of Jeremy. Honestly, like, if you were a clever guy, a hedge fund guy, you would watch these YouTubers and find the best stocks to short. All right, guys, that's it. Stay tuned. In 10 minutes, I'm going live with Jay Nagy and King Tiger. Was it? Oh, maybe. Anyway, I'll be live with Jay Nagy in 10 minutes, and you guys have a wonderful day. Cheers.
Bye, 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 bye. I know I'm a grifter strong, man. You could lick your hand and smack me in the nutsack. Thank God for Tesla Maesla and you, strong man.